And not only having to match the sound, but also the weight, the density, and the feel. This is also a comprehensive set, meaning each model is designed to solve a different set of problems. That's why I use not just one, but several types of wood in the series. As my reserves were getting low, I knew I had to find a new wood with similar qualities. Hi, I'm Adrian. Over the past few months, I've been testing various woods, looking for a replacement for this model. And I decided to make a video to talk about the process and even share a few short clips from the musical side of things. V1 is one of our very popular models. They are the lightest of the Veloce series, which is our middleweight set, intended for general orchestral playing. They work really well with excerpts such as exotic birds and anything else that requires a medium light touch. And that's because they have a nice brisk feel, are suitable for low to medium dynamics, and work really well for moments of lighter orchestration. Unfortunately, the wood that I've been using has become unavailable. And as my reserves were getting low, I knew I had to find a new wood with similar qualities. On the one hand, I was disappointed, not only because I've been using this wood for a long time and people have gotten used to its sound, but also because finding a suitable replacement is no small task, and it involves months of testing. But on the other hand, I had to look at it with excitement because of the prospect of adding something new to the model. I had to go through all of these wood species in order to find the one that's most similar to the old wood. These are all V1 heads that were used in the testing process, and they're made of many different wood species. I will not go into the testing that was done on each of these, or else this video would be several hours long. A similar testing was done for every single model in the Professional Performance Wood series, every time a new model was created. These woods aren't chosen randomly or lightly. A lengthy process of research and testing is necessary before choosing a wood for a model that will be included in our professional series. You might wonder why it is necessary to test so many woods. Why not just pick one and be done with it? Well, the short answer is that, like all of God's creation, wood has a tremendous vastness and a colossal variety, with the number of known tree types surpassing a staggering 60,000 species. And while one may have a good weight for this particular purpose, it may be too soft or too hard. Another may have good density but too much sharpness of attack, or may be too heavy or too light. And so it is quite difficult to find one that checks on all 6 characteristics that I'm looking for in a wood, which are tone, attack, weight, rebound, hardness, and durability. Each of these metrics needs to hit a particular level, a right range, like the jackpot. And you often get 3 or 4 out of 6, but it's pretty hard to find all 6 in one wood. And so the search has to be extensive. So while I've been doing tests like these for over 10 years now, this is the first time I share a video on it. And I won't be covering the whole process by any means, but I'll simply touch on a few concepts and ideas. Trying to find a specific sound you want in a sea of wood species, and not only having to match the sound, but also the weight, the density, and the feel, it is a bit of a daunting task. This is also a comprehensive set, meaning each model is designed to solve a different set of problems and address a specific part of the repertoire. That's why I use not just one, but several types of wood in the series. This is the old wood that was used for V1, and there are 3 finalists that I chose out of all the woods tested to replace it. This is pair number 1, this is pair number 2, and pair number 3. I am guessing that technical details such as weight, density, elasticity, modulus of rupture, crushing strength, and degrees of hardness, which play an important role in choosing a wood, might just not be of much interest for most people. So instead, I'm going to focus here on the musical aspects. I already know that these three woods have similar technical properties, so now I'll be testing their musical properties, the sound and feel. The mallet feel is very important, as well as is having good balance and an ideal weight for that model's given purpose. On a test of slow notes that breathe, pair number 2 had the better combination of weight and rebound, as well as the right amount of attack. V1's not specifically designed for rolling, but I think pair number 2 struck a decent balance between having clear attacks and smooth rolling. Rolls did not sound choppy, and the mallets felt fairly good at controlling rolls, despite having a medium bright attack. These are some of the principles guiding the music testing. Changing dynamics, or the ability to handle contrasts. Mobility, the ease of movement in brisk tempos and intricate passages. Double stops, rolling, tone, clarity, balance, stability, which is the level of control over difficult passages. The next test was for abrupt crescendos, where the muscles have to quickly switch from a state of being somewhat relaxed to a higher muscle tension, and the mallets must not get in the way, but rather facilitate this rapid change. Another thing to look for in this little exercise I wrote was the evenness between single and double strokes. Hopefully, the double strokes don't sound any different from the single strokes. For that, we need the heads to be light enough, but not too light. Here's a simple slow note test for the high register, testing for tone quality and attack. Here's a comparison between the old wood and candidate number 2, using a little tune I just made up on the spot. The focus of this test was to compare the clarity of repeated notes. And here's pair number 2. The next test is for busy double stops, where an even rebound in tandem is important. Alright, so we heard the middle and upper registers. Now let's increase the tempo to see how their accuracy holds up. A good mallet will be well centered and balanced. We want to avoid having a pull to the left or right, much like a car tire. If a tire is well balanced, it will help keep the steering wheel straight and make for a smooth ride. If it isn't, it will pull to the right or left and make for a bumpy ride. If a mallet isn't well centered, it can affect your note accuracy, especially in the more challenging passages. Our muscles will fight to adapt to the mallet's off-centeredness, but as the shaft rotates in the hand, it makes it difficult to predict and control the randomness of the mallet's pull. A well-centered mallet will make it easier to get used to its focused feel, and that can help to develop consistently accurate strokes. When they test high-efficiency tires for that perfect balance and to see how well they stick to the road, they test them in abrupt curves and at very high speeds, at which you wouldn't normally be driving. Likewise, we have to travel across the xylophone's keyboard and sometimes have to take sharp turns and slalom between the black and the white keys, avoiding obstacles, like quickly getting one mallet out of the way of the other, as their trajectories frequently intersect. In this example, I'll show very slowly how mallets can intersect and how one mallet's trajectory can obstruct the path of the other mallet. This problem creates a need for special trajectories so that the mallets don't crash into each other. And now, the same passage up to speed. Just as race cars need good tires to keep them from running off the track, we too need a perfectly balanced point of contact with the keyboard, which of course is the mallet, to help us stay on the racetrack, that is, our melody maintaining a high note accuracy. So, we're going to drive these mallets at various speeds to test their note accuracy their stability, and overall to see how well they respond to the player's commands. Now, all of these mallets are very high efficiency, high accuracy mallets, just because of how they are made. But we're going to pick the absolute best out of them all. Here's a short etude I wrote for this. It repeats 3 times, each time increasing the tempo. Each repetition feels different, as it places completely different demands on the muscles and mallets. So this allows me to really see how the mallets feel under each of those different circumstances. In addition to that, we are also able to observe the following things. The first time is slower, so as to listen to the melody and the tone quality. The second time is a bit more high energy, and it allows us to observe the level of clarity, projection, and harmonic resonance. The third time is to test how well they behave under the stress of high speed, and the result is seen in the note accuracy. I do not advocate playing fast just for the sake of it, but this is a test meant to find out something. Certain phenomena can only be observed at high speeds. For example, infrasounds are sound waves that oscillate at a lower frequency than our hearing can perceive. So even though infrasounds do exist, we cannot observe them audibly because we do not hear frequencies that occur too slow. Any set of tires might do just fine driving straight on an ideal road at a moderate speed, but you wouldn't know its weaknesses and flaws, not right away. So high-performance tires are tested by experts at high speeds and are taken through abrupt curves to see how well they stick to the road. This is what the third repetition of this etude is meant to do, to see how well the mallets stick to the keyboard, so to speak, to see how they feel, how well they respond to the player's hands. Are they sharply focused, or is there any slight pull to the left or right? Let's have a listen. Now, I don't claim that these mallets are going to make anyone play perfect. I mean, you still have to practice. I think that's obvious. But what I'm saying is, at whatever level any of us are, we can always use a fine-tuned mallet to give us that extra bit of help in our quest for musical excellence. I can actually feel that pair number 3 is a little less stable than the others. It was mostly noticeable at high speeds because it felt like I had to work a little harder to keep the notes really tight. Pair number 2 felt very close to pair number 1, but pair number 2 had the edge. It was agile but not too light. It was also focused and easy to control. And it's at high speeds where you notice the finest glitches, which may pop up unexpectedly under the pressure of a concert or audition. And that's when you want to have the mallets with the most focused feel possible. That'll work in your favor. The attack of pair number 2 was also slightly less sharp compared to both numbers 1 and 3. So, after going through all those wood species, we finally have a new winner for this model. And the winner is pair number 2. So, there you have it. This is the new V1. I hope you found this video interesting and useful. Thank you for watching and have a wonderful day.